You're watching Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans. I'm Martin Prendergast, joined by Conor McAvoy as we catch up on a very historic day in Irish football. A fantastic result earlier in the Under-17 World Cup as Ireland went through on penalties against Canada in a really exciting circumstance, actually. Really fantastic penalty shootout. And Conor, you've been at England versus Ireland Under-21s in Birmingham this evening, so we're going to get the full aftermath, proper aftermath of that game from you. And also, we will obviously get the key why everyone, I'm sure, will be wanting to hear my amazing review of Ireland beating Portugal at Lansdowne Road. But amazing 24 hours in a sense for Irish football. Conor, Under-17s today. How good was that?
Brilliant. Oh, what a day for Irish football aspect, because actually I was saying it earlier, like it wasn't them at their clinical best or they're at their very best, because they missed a couple of chances, but it was just historic. And the fact is, just with these sort of things, you just get it done. Like all great teams that go and win things, or they have one performance in each tournament where maybe it's not at their very best. I think I'm saying it like they didn't play badly. It was Canada were actually defensively. I thought Canada actually were very solid. I thought they kept Ireland at bay quite well. And then obviously we had the moment where defender, well, Mike Noonan showed why you never give up on a ball, even if you think it's dead. Put the pressure on Roach. I think it was did he keep player that missed a penalty in the end, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, and took it off him and put it, because he actually learned from his mistake in the first half. He obviously McDonald put the ball in behind in the first 5 minutes, and he hit it at the keeper. In fairness, he was very close to the keeper, and the only way to really beat him there was to dink it. But then the second chance he had in the second half, he did dink it slightly, and he scored, and he got the goal that we all thought really was going to be the winner, Martin, didn't we? Because we looked like we were going to score 2 or 3. Uma had 1 or 2 chances. I know there were half chances. Noonan had another chance actually after Uma showed his unbelievable feat, and then. And we looked like we were gonna get a second, a third, and comfortably get home, or even just 1-0. And then they got Alex Noonan made a world class save with a couple of minutes to spare, and then they got the equaliser. In fairness to them, was an unbelievable strike. There's nothing you can do. It was a brilliant volley, just one of those things that happens in football. And then went to penalties. And Martin, you might want to talk about the penalties first, because I think you probably would have got more wound up by that than me.
Oh yeah, I mean the penalty shootout, the goalkeeper for Canada was just. I mean, it's interesting actually, the kind of the hate on social media for him, and you've got to remember it is an underage tournament, Under-17. He's a kid, but I thought it really showed elite mentality for the lads. You know, really galvanised themselves, ready for the penalty shootout. Didn't let the pressure get to them. You could see they've been practicing penalties as well. But the game, and it like fantastic. I mean, Noonan's finish. They showed a fantastic replay on it on TV of. You know, when he kind of gets his body in front of the defender, and he has this like minute second little look up, like elite mentality striker that is, like to do that, to see what I need to do with this ball now, and then he just thinks it's a fantastic finish. And I don't, you know, on the TV as well, they said, you know, that they are young boys. They've had a, you know, you got to think of this. The experience they've had over there, they've been fantastic in the 3 group games. They've had a lot of football to play in a very short period of time, and I know Canada had it as well. But I thought it was unbelievable, and then I liked the fact that it went to the you know, went to penalty straight away, so we didn't have extra time. So and it was a great shootout, and I just thought the mentality was elite again from Ireland. Very professional, got the job done. It was a shame he missed the penalty. I mean, he couldn't believe it, could he? The lad who missed. It's a great save actually, but their goalkeeper, all the antics there, it just shows you how much these lads do want to win. The natural competitiveness is there, pride in playing for their countries, and we go on, and it's fantastic. You've seen some, I would say as well, fair play to every Ireland fan. Now I know there'll be like people who are connections to Ireland, obviously living over there, and have gone and supported the team, and obviously doing well. They're obviously, you know, jumping on the bandwagon probably is a bit unfair phrase, because they're getting behind the lads and the families and stuff, and it's just brilliant. You're seeing that on social media a lot, and yeah, absolutely fair play, Conor O'Brien as well. You know, I liked it as well. You know, the antics. Their coach wasn't good as well. There was some robust challenges going in. You know, I mean, it just shows you the will to win. But no, I really feel it's a big group together, like very strong group mentally, and fair play to them. So they're through to the next round. So who they got next? Do we know yet?
Switzerland beat Egypt earlier, 3-1. and it was a
Right.
game before, so we knew who we were going to be playing if we got
Right.
through before. And then if we win that, we will play Mexico or Portugal in the quarter final, because there's so
Quarterfinal,
many
yeah.
rounds. Yeah, so
Yeah.
many rounds for a tournament. But yeah, actually Mexico knocked out Argentina, which is surprising. Portugal beat Belgium, which isn't a surprise because Portugal are the European champions.
Mm.
But yeah, as you say, Martin, about the mentality of that group is just top class. Like even when Oisin McDonough missed that penalty, the thing is, his penalty actually was an excellent penalty. The
Really
keeper
good
did make
penalty.
it fair. In
Yeah.
fairness, the keeper did make a good save at that, and like his antics were just. It was Emi Martinez esque, and the thing is, I usually love when someone does like that because it winds everyone up. But when it's
Mm.
coming from an Ireland point of view, and the reality was he was getting done every time, and then he was having a go at Grady McDonald saying, "Why did you leave Canada? Why did you leave Canada?" Because he's Irish, and it's like it would make it do it would kind of make a bit more sense to say something like that to maybe a lad that was born in England, playing for an academy in England, clearly isn't good enough to play for England, but plays for
Mm.
Ireland. But Grady McDonald would be by far the best midfielder in that Canadian team. So it's not like he's going to Ireland because he's not good enough for Canada, if you get me. So it was,
Mm.
and then fair play to Bill, Irish Football Blog, he loved this. He spotted it after game because this is something this is his sort of knowledge and this sort of thing. He Googled just boy after because he knew he'd find something. This fella was involved in under 15 camps with the USA national team. So he isn't the most loyal to whatever country he feels affiliated to. But the reality is Grady McDonald is Irish and he feels Irish, and he was another excellent performance there. And I was hoping today, Martin, we might have seen more of the Jade Numa that I thought we would always see in this tournament, where he gets one on one with defenders. But we only seen a couple of times. He got, in fairness, 2 times I think he went one on one. He won 2 fouls,
Mm.
and then every other time the defender was up in his face and very at him. I think that must be the tactic from all these teams: is just be in his face and don't let him have a sniff, because reality is he's unstoppable at his best. And but thing is, it creates room for the others. I thought Victor was very good on the ball.
Mm.
I thought the defense was solid. I thought the first half was, I think, it was two teams showing each other a lot of respect in that aspect, that they didn't want to take too many risks. And it was kind of sort of thing. It seems to be a thing with like an Irish team. We'll start very well, start solid, and then we'll, as the second half gets in, we'll break them down. Then we'll show what world class is. And yeah, it looked to be that way. It worked. Colin Bryan's game plan, in fairness, Colin Bryan has been tactically outstanding in every single game, because it seems to be a thing of every time an Irish underage team that has good players doesn't go well, to blame the manager, even though most of the time it's just because it's underage football and inconsistencies is the most obvious thing that happens. So yeah, and I thought like Finneran was brilliant in the middle of the park, even though it was one of his quieter days, even when you just see his class at times. And I was just so happy that we got through, because Martin, I was a nervous wreck watching them penalties. I thought we had it, and then when McDonough missed the penalty, I was thinking, oh no, because it's always with a goalkeeper like that, they always find a jam in their way of getting through and winning
Yeah.
it. But the fact we got through, and Noonan made 2 big saves, national treasure, build that statue, and I loved it about him. He's a quiet lad. He doesn't show much of that, trying to show off, trying to put people
Mm.
off, and he just showed his class and saved the 2 penalties today. Canadian only saving 1 penalty, and it's not like he can blame his teammates, because he had the chance to save 10 penalties. He saved 1. That's not a great
Yeah.
record for a keeper, but yeah, fair play to the lads. Brilliant group of lads, brilliant group of players. They've been winning from day dot, and it's no surprises keep going now.
Yeah, but I mean, with the goalkeeper and his antics, like the swinging off the crossbar, you just
That
don't want
was
him to.
ridiculous.
That was
You know,
so over the top. But like that was. I don't mind the verbal kind of stuff in a
yeah,
sense, and even like ref, that's not on the spot and things like that. That is kind of innocent minds,
yeah,
mind games. But the swinging off the crossbar, that was outrageous, and you're just going to piss off the referee, because we were even looking at some stage. Is he off his line? The one he did save. And those decisions go against you. I thought it was interesting as well. They can use the appeal. They can appeal one decision, can't they?
yeah.
And it's
And they were
interesting. Colin O'Brien did that at the end, didn't he? Looking for that penalty. It would have been
really
harsh. We'd have been
yeah.
gutted.
It was, in fairness, it was never a penalty,
Yeah, but it
but
did break up the game a little bit as well at that stage. And
yeah. But I did think, though, has there been something because a bit of confusion over that now, because it seems like they were constantly trying to challenge during the penalty shootout, because they had challenges left. They didn't use any challenges,
right,
and the referee seemed to have no. They had no, like, they didn't even consider it. So it must have been a bit of confusion. You mustn't be able to challenge during the shootout. You must be able to,
yeah,
the keeper coming off his line. And it seemed even the refs, I think the ref seemed a bit confused himself, because he seemed a bit lost. What do I do here? And I think this fourth official was just like, no, you can't appeal this, and then they moved on. But yeah,
because it kind of took the sting
yeah.
out of it, didn't they?
What?
When he got the
But
winning
why, I
one.
forgot, I meant to ask because everyone's been. What do you think of Vinny Leonard's penalty? It was the best penalty in the shootout. But he
Yeah.
made it. He did start to run up before the referee blew his whistle.
Yes.
And is
Yeah.
is that in that is that a false penalty? Because I've never actually seen that. Like, is it? You have to strike the ball, but surely the run up is part of the action. That,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I would
Oh, yeah.
feel aggrieved if I was a Canada supporter by that, because the reality is he started running before the referee blew his whistle. But fairness, the referee was decent. That's all. He didn't. It
Again,
was
like
kind of,
you get
yeah,
the benefit of that though, don't you? If
yeah,
because the ref's going, oh look, the keeper's having a go at me again, and he's been a bit
yeah,
dick in this, and I'll go
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
that's what it
Especially
is.
especially an African ref, they take no shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I thought like fantastic results. So best of luck as they go forward, of course, and yeah, we'll continue to follow it. So looking forward to that game. And then you were in Birmingham this evening for the under-21s. Fantastic performance, awful conditions,
Horrible.
but final full-time result, and it's a very harsh scoreline. Look, I mean,
Yeah,
2-0. It wasn't a 2-0 game at all. Ireland were. I thought really, really good. I had one eye on it. I've also been sorting out ticket allocation today for people going to Hungary, but through Risk London and stuff. But I had one eye on it, and the commentary was good. Stephen Kelly was on that. Spoke really well
yeah.
at the start as well about Lee Carsley and what a good lad he is. And yeah, I
I
didn't know
miss
we
I
read
miss
too much
all
into that.
I missed all that, Martin, because I was in
You were actually at the ground.
yeah, I was at the ground, so I missed all that. By the way, I just noticed there with my LEDs in the background, there's nothing that weird going on in this hotel room. It's just I'm in a Premier Inn, and that's their tradition to have the LEDs, and I'm not ours turning them off at this stage. But yeah, Martin, in fairness, lovely little ground. You can tell it's older, got
Mm,
uh, great turnout from Irish fans to try to make their noise. A group of lads that gave everything tonight, and the reality was they were done unjust by an awful referee who wanted to be the centre of attention. I believe after that referee is notorious for giving out cards, and we got a ridiculous amount of cards tonight over nothing. Like
mm,
Noah Johnny got one for nothing. I know David Cogbu got not one for nothing. Jacob Devaney got one for nothing. Like, she was just, I think, thought she was too good because she had all this authority. And then the first penalty,
yeah,
how was that a penalty? An absolute disgrace of a decision. Like, there's not, like, I'd like to give the referee a benefit of doubt, but like when it happens twice in one game, you're just thinking, and then the yellow cards. But thank God Noah Johnny saved the first penalty. Fairness, I'd love to say it was a great save, but it was a really poor penalty, and he guessed the right way. But in fairness, Noah was very good tonight. And then we were thinking at halftime, 0-0. Like, the rally was, Martin, I would have come into this game with all the players that were missing against an England
mm,
team full of Premier League players. 2-0 is not a bad result, because away
yeah.
from home at St Andrews. And, but like,
But England are as well back to back under-21
Euro, yeah,
champions. Like
yeah,
they're such a strong side. They've got such a kind of deep kind of treasure trove of players as well that they can rely on, like big names as well, like wholesale names. You
yeah.
can see their experience and yeah, I think yeah, interesting. Like you said, there was what was the crowd attendance at it? Awful conditions, as we said,
Nine
but
9,000. There was
9,000.
like 16, 15,000 sold. Like, even when you went into the second half, Martin, I thought Ireland started the second half the better team. They were the
Yeah,
better
I
team
mean
to start the second half.
on the
And
kind
then,
of analysis at half time, it showed like Ireland straight away, didn't they? They really pressed and were all over them, and it probably helped. The conditions helped a little bit, but I think the referee should have been a bit more sensible with the cards and things because in those conditions you can miss-time things, you can slip, and that kind of and Ireland's kind of game plan was to really kind of close down space and close down
do you know what?
players.
But you know
It was
what it
sitting
seemed to be
really
with
well.
me, because she gave a few for verbals. Where it seemed to be for me was she was so by the book. The thing is, only the captain's allowed to speak to me. So if a player said, "Oh, what's that for a ref?" she just booked them for it straight away.
Mm,
Like, I'm just guessing, but
yeah,
like it was just disgrace. Like, Martin, the first penalty, never a penalty. The second penalty, because you would have had more angles. Because I didn't think it was a penalty at the time. I looked back at a couple of angles. People are texting me saying, definitely not a penalty. Like,
it's
that's
very
the one
soft.
where you can sit. I can still say, maybe you can think, but I still think it's still a very bad decision. It was actually want to do that. And Noah was, in fairness, Noah was very unlucky not to save that second penalty. Very
Mm,
unlucky not to save that. And then, in fairness, the thing is, we started the second half the better team. We had a couple of great chances,
Yeah.
and like they done well to defend well against us. I say they couldn't believe how good of a side we were tonight. A lot of lads show that they're at this level, and then obviously the second goal they got was brilliant by Tyreek George. But that was when we were pushing for an equaliser.
Yeah.
But I must say tonight, I thought Jacob Devaney in the middle of the pitch was the best player on the park. I thought he was absolutely outstanding the way he ran the show. His passing was so crisp. His ability to break up tackle, like he had the most crucial role on the pitch to stop England. Like who, if you would have seen him or Joe Bellingham tonight, and who plays for Borussia Dortmund, it's definitely not Joe Bellingham. And as I've said before, I still think he's on fraud watch, and I think he will continue to be on it. And like I thought, Trent on the left hand side, superb. His first start for Ireland under 21s. Conor McManus at left back, superb against top
Really
level
good.
wingers with England. And like he hasn't played for the 21s since March. He scored 2 goals for 21s against Sweden in March, 2 headers, and then he got injured. And he hasn't really been seen since. He hasn't been seen since because he's been injured that long. And then he's only back, I think, 2 weeks at Brentford. And he came in tonight and he was superb. And like Romeo Akinchukwu in the first half, he was brilliant playing out of position on the right. And it was pity. I think he got a head injury, Martin, if you remember more, because I know he was on the sideline for a while and he had to come off. But even Jadakiki came off from lovely footballer, lovely bit of feet on him. Even the two in midfield, Darius Lupasic and Adam Murphy, they ran the legs off, were unbelievable. And I thought the other back three, Abankwa, Akogbu, and who am I missing? The other centre, Sean Grehan, were all brilliant. Like I thought, two a man, or Mason Mealy up front by himself. He was his hold up play and his link up play. That's where you see a lad that's so good. And the thing is, Akinpom that's playing in centre half for Chelsea is playing every week in the Premier League, and Melia was superb up against him. It's like winning free kicks, shooting his body so well. He's just such a good footballer, and like his football brain. Like, and in fairness, the biggest man that must take a lot of credit from this tonight, Martin, because he gets a lot of stick, is Jim Crawford. I thought the way he set up his team tonight was top class. Like people were questioning why is Romeo playing on the right, Jamie Mullins, who's been our best player so far this campaign, why is he on the bench? Like, why is he starting? Why is this fella starting? Why is McManus starting after not being involved in the song? Why is Murphy and Slater, the two left backs, been there so far on the bench? And he got everything right. I would say it's hard to say this, Martin, because we lost again, but he tactically outdone Lee Carsey in the way that he set up. He completely nullified England altogether, and they got two lucky penalties that they shouldn't have got. And then the second goal was the counter when we had to push on, lead on. But like Jim Crawford must have. I thought he was superb with his setup tonight.
Yeah.
Jim Crawford, so fair play to Jim because he gets a lot of stick. Even the last campaign, like when you think back at it now, when you refresh and look back, a lot of things that let us down was players' individual mistakes rather than tactics. And maybe you think another player should start and another player or a different player should be in the squad, but he was missing a lot of players tonight due to injury. And it didn't seem to affect Ireland. So hats off. And like on paper, Martin, this team compared to the last group of Ireland 21s in terms of talent on paper, the last group of players was miles ahead in terms of. But this group of players might just click better, and they might be the team that qualifies us. I think they've shown a lot. But the big thing is they have to beat Andorra and Tuesday. Like it's all like if they go and lose Andorra and Tuesday or draw, like this means nothing. Putting in a good display because we can't just be the best losers. We just can't be the best losers. But yeah, I don't know what you think of. That's my real assessment of that.
No, I thought it was a good assessment. Some of these players, like the profile was there now. England fans will kind of be taking awareness, of course, of like Melia because they know now he's come to Spurs. It would have been on the coverage and things. They were very unlucky though. I thought Devaney was very good. Quite innovative, I suppose, of what he wanted to kind of get us playing on the front foot again. The free kick that he went down the left and cut it back should have actually had should have done better. I think it was a Kiki. Yeah. I think should have scored and ended up hit a strike and he missed it. But yeah, look, it's a strong group, and the problem with the under-21s, what it is for all of them, isn't it? That the amount of the transition between the squad with the ages, of course, and then you're fast tracking people. I mean, you forget Mealy is so young, but he's with the under-21s, and even with speaking about the under-17s there and how they are, and you think of like England are on about bringing the Arsenal lad through, aren't they? What did Dave say about him on a previous show?
He was going to win Player of the Year in the Premier League because the English media want him to, like, and he was so confident that, and I was telling him it was one of his all-time stupid opinions. Sorry, Dave, if you're watching, but it is one of your all-time stupid opinions, and he got offended at me for saying that.
But yeah, look, some of these are being fast-tracked, and you've got to remember that even when we're talking about the under-17s, the stats show that some incredible players haven't played in that tournament. I think it's fantastic they're getting this experience in under-17s, but also the under-21s now, that new group coming through. We saw Conor Doherty get a bit of time with Liverpool. Hopefully he will get more time again. They need to be playing, these lads. But, really positive result that was, because, you can take off the last goal. The penalty was incredibly harsh, even the second one, because on the commentary they showed like he actually does get the ball, but it's quite awkward how he gets his foot across, and then the England player looks for the contact. And what was mad was about 5 minutes before, the ref was overzealous with the cards, but she didn't book the England player for a dive, basically, simulation. And Ireland were looking for that.
Adam Murphy had it.
He was trying to get in the box, trying to pose that question for the referee, and then 5 minutes later, a player goes down, and she thinks, she's probably thinking, well, actually, that's what it was.
She's
again.
probably thinking over it, yeah, she was overthinking it. But in fairness, Mark, when you think the lads are missing from that squad tonight, like Rocco Vata was out injured, Franco Uma, Jaden's brother, obviously does playing today. Owen Elding still is waiting on his situation to improve, which hopefully will be soon. Like, that's 3 outstanding players, and like, even off, I'm thinking off my head who am I missing here. I'm definitely missing someone obvious, but we're missing a lot of players in that team. Like, I believe Ike Razi was going to come into the squad once. Joe Gardner obviously pulled out injured as well, missed out. So like, a lot of top quality players have missed out or are injured, and like, that was a depleted 21 side as well. Like, it wasn't just the 19s that were depleted; the 21s were depleted as well, which is a great sign that we have this talent in depth. Because it's all well and good to have Martin having one really good squad that has maybe 5 or 6 really good players and has a massive, or maybe has 11 good players, but then from the bench down it's really bad. But we see with maybe the 17s, 19s, 21s at the moment, even the seniors, we could make a second team that's still very strong as well. That if someone drops out, we're not thinking, oh God, we have to rely on this fella or this fella, which is a huge positive for me, because it's a credit. It can only be really a credit to maybe coaches in Ireland that are putting his work in with extra lads, because the more options you have, the better. Like,
oh yeah, without doubt. I mean, look, it's although they lost 2-0, it wasn't a 2-0 game in a way. The performance wasn't that. So people look at it and think, oh, England have got this. Unplenished record. It's like perfect start for them. But it's a really good performance. Awful conditions. It was for both teams, of course. But I thought Ireland at some stages were the best team there. You would think you're putting it up to the European champions, and a lot of them players are kind of household names as well, and coming through in at top clubs. So it shows you can do it. And it was good. On the back of the under-17s, we know throughout these teams that these lads are coming through. And I do agree with you completely there, Conor. You have to be backing these coaches, because they're doing a fantastic job at underage, and I like that. I think that's one thing it is really well in place with Ireland. And I mean, Rennie Gilmartin, he got booked as well, didn't he, at the side?
Yeah.
I mean, because
At
that
least
was
he had
a
a
very
goal,
robust challenge. Yeah. And this is the thing. I mean, look, we're going to come on to. I know, fantastic show in the aftermath. You can obviously, if you make sure you'll do subscribe to the channel here as well, where you get all the content that we obviously deliver, especially around these international windows. And the aftermath show last night, I caught a bit of it in the taxi back to the Castle Knock Hotel where I was staying, where the team were. But a fantastic night last night in Dublin, of course. Ireland 2-0 in our last home qualification match against Portugal, 5th in the world. The aftermath show was fantastic, as I said. Do make sure you do go back and have a listen to that, because I'm sure you got some fantastic views and comments and everything like that, Conor. Fantastic night for Irish football. And I think even that has kind of inspired the lads today, the young under-17s and even the under-21s, to show that, you can compete against these top teams. Brilliant coverage all day. It's been brilliant. Like, my phone's been hopping. People delighted, obviously, for Ireland getting that incredible result, which puts us in a fantastic position now, heading off to Budapest, take on Hungary, knowing that it's in our hands, that we need a win to secure that playoff spot. Conor, you're off there tomorrow, of course, and safe travels to all of the Irish fans heading over there. But, just my view on the game, fantastic night in Dublin, as I said. A lot of young Irish people, kids, would have gone to that game wanting to see Ronaldo. And yes, they did see him get sent off. And we had like fans all around us in the premium level where I was with my season tickets last night. Conor, you could see them, their kids, like, Ronaldo shop shirts. That is a factor. It's a wow factor. He's bringing people to Lansdowne Road. People did want to see that incredible
Yeah.
Portuguese team, but they've gone away from there, seeing that Ireland can
Yes.
beat them,
They've seen Troy Parrott, like
yeah,
everyone's
and
favorite
that's
players
it.
to be Troy Parrott.
Exactly, and that's it, and that's what we have to build on now as a nation. A very just contrasting, we went back. I'm not going to go over it too much, but Yerevan, when Evan Ferguson got absolutely smashed, no one came to his aid. It pissed their life out of me that I saw that. But
Yeah.
last night, when you saw Troy Parrott's goal, and then Ogbene's got the ball, wasn't he? He's running off, and Diaz comes and hits him and grabs him, and then you see Jack Taylor. It's a brilliant clip someone's caught from from one of the stands, and then it all started kicking off, didn't it? Because Jack Taylor just launched into him. Collins was there on the scene. It just showed you. I think Seamus's passion was there for everyone to see last night, and that was incredible as well. He hasn't kicked the ball since Lisbon, really, and he's put in that kind of performance. Just shows you the leadership. It will count for nothing, no, unless we go to Budapest and get that result, of course. But it just shows you can compete. I thought Heimer. This is my worry, though. I'm very, very positive, as you normally know, for Raw Faithful watching along. But we got the game plan, and he tactically executed that fantastically well. There was a bit actually, and you could just show like they obviously worked so hard on that low block where Festi was, he actually ran. The ball went back towards their centre back, but Festi just went towards it, and then he just dropped back into shape and went, "Oh no, actually, we're just sitting." So amazing, wasn't it? The atmosphere was incredible. The fans got behind it. A lot of people saying it was, people had their moment last night. I've seen a lot of comments like that saying, I've been going last 6 or 7 years, bringing my kids through, getting them to support Ireland, and then you've had that moment. We do have moments with as Irish fans. They're few and far between. We've had them though, and we had another one last night. Fantastic to see. Ronaldo's getting a lot of hate, obviously. Some of his comments are not going down well. But it's a bit of disharmony in that Portuguese ranks. I've seen a clip of them, of some of their players having a go at their fans and things. The press are on their back in Portugal, not happy. Said it was shameful what Ronaldo did. Piers Morgan's been getting involved in it as well, hasn't he? Which is quite funny.
Jenny says he's Irish.
Yeah. But the lads, like as I said, I was at the team hotel last night. That the lads, Heimer's really looking after and making sure they're he wanted them kind of back in, refuel bed kind of thing. Traveling obviously today. There wasn't like any party or anything like that. They weren't celebrating wildly, although it's a fantastic result. The job isn't done yet, and hopefully they will get a result in Budapest. A lot of Irish fans have been contacting me all day saying, "Can you get tickets?" I've just booked flights. People are, there is a bandwagon, and people are jumping on it, and hopefully we will get that win and secure that playoff spot. I mean, we're going to have it all covered here, aren't we, Conor, as well, on Lansdowne Raw? So make sure you do subscribe. You get your notifications in of what we're doing. We're going to be at the press conference tomorrow in Budapest. I think Dave's covering that. And Conor, you're going to be there for that as well, possibly?
For the press conference? No.
Yeah. No. Dave's covering that.
No.
And then
David
there,
already. David will be on the
Dave's doing
ground. I'm going offline till 12:30 tomorrow from Birmingham.
Oh, okay, yeah. But we'll have it all covered anyway. So make sure you turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel, and then you get notified when we've got our content.
We don't know when our match preview will be out, actually, because we actually need to arrange that. We haven't. We're actually a bit disorganized for Mr. Organized Dave, as this is an old wee word. I don't know why. I actually don't know why he's not annoying us about it. But yeah. But it's gonna be a massive Sunday hasn't set in yet. Like I couldn't sleep last night, Martin. I couldn't sleep. I was just so, like, I was staying at my uncle's 20 minutes away from the Viva Stadium, and I just couldn't sleep. I was lying in that bed until the first hour. I just kept scrolling through my phone, watching videos. So many TikToks people made of Troy Parrott and Ronaldo. So I was just going through everything. And then for the next hour and a half, I just couldn't sleep. I was just thinking of the match going through my head. And then I got to the stage thinking, oh no, not Sunday. If we don't back this up on Sunday, like what?
No.
Like it's be even more. It would be worse. More depressing the fact if we don't win on Sunday, that we got this hope, because it will just be so gutted, because it feels like we're just going to go there and win, rather than if we had lost the other night and we just said, all right, the manager's gone, we get rid of him, move on to the next. And then it's going to pose the question, if we win on Sunday, do we automatically give him a 2-year deal, or do we automatically I think we just extend him, give him to March, and then you move on.
I think it would be an extension for me. He, not that he's not treating it seriously. He was very focused. Saw him in the team hotel last night. He was just, focused, not really engaging with fans or anything like that. There's a few fans around trying to get photos and things. Seamus did the kind of duties there, having a few photos. Troy was brilliant. So was Adamida. I was buzzing for Troy though. Fantastic. It's crazy. I do have my doubts still. I'll always back the manager and back the coaching team and stuff. I just think that there's been a lot of things wrong. I think he has had a bit of luck as well. I mean, look, we've played 3 games now and 3 sendings off in all the games in Dublin. That's you couldn't get a bet on that at the start of that campaign. So 10 men, it's just been incredible. I think there'll be another twist. I think Sunday, looking forward to it, of course. It's a different game though. As I said, he tactically executed that fantastically well last night. You need to go. They've got something to protect. They've got something that they don't need to win. They don't need to come out. I think it's going to be key to really what the game plan is for this and what he does. If he's going to be brave with his team selection, will he make changes? But I'm hopeful. I think that we haven't really broken down a team yet. Armenia was very frustrating at home, wasn't it? So I think it could be a little bit that kind of approach in a sense that we'll go for this for the last half hour. Let's keep in the game.
So that was the tactics. That's what the tactics were the other night. To be honest with you.
But they're not going to dominate though as much, are they? I can't.
Oh, they will.
We were Hungary. It won't be as high line though. Like that was
ridiculous. Yeah, but they'll have 65% possession at least. I still think.
Yeah, but most teams will against us anyway. But I think even we watched the Hungary Armenia game, didn't we? In Slattery's, of course, a fantastic sponsor for the home games. And that was brilliant. You saw the chance he missed at the end, and we were worried then going in. We've blown it. That would have been a fantastic lift going in there with that result going our way. But I think we get those chances against them. I think we'll take them. I think it was quite an open game, the other one, and I think that I'd had that all day, that kind of game.
Oh yeah.
But again, it's our clever players. I mean, I thought some good performance last night. Taylor, great energy around the place. It was very disciplined, but I thought Finn Azaz was solid. Jacob Bryan as well, fantastic. Lads have stood up last night, and again that physicality and matching them, and maybe that's the thing though. When the stars come, they're thinking, I'm not going to respect you, Ronaldo. I'm going to annoy you and piss you off and rattle you and stuff. And whereas, do they do that enough with players they don't necessarily know at all and think, what way we're going to approach it? So, fantastic, though. Great finishes, Troy. Ogbene was lively as well. Festi, I think, was a little bit of a worry for me. Didn't seem very sharp and sparky. He was only off the bench.
And he was playing on the left. He's not a left-sided player.
Yeah. But no, fantastic. A lot. We're in with a shout, so that's fantastic. So, looking forward to these next few games.
And we'll turn it around, and it's hard to not see Trey scoring, isn't it, not Martin? It's just think he's going to score again on Sunday. If he gets the opportunity, he'll take it.
Yeah, he's so confident. He's an absolutely brilliant finisher, and again, proof that you got to just keep working hard. And that's where my doubt would be with Heimer. I know we will do a full review of the kind of this campaign, of course, but Troy was at a very low ebb. I think he didn't get a minute in that camp at that time, and that had me worried at that stage. And look, he's shown he knuckled down. He's worked really, really hard there as well. Ida as well. Just for me last night, we needed him to work a lot harder when he came on. He just didn't have the same kind of buzz as who he replaced. But no, fantastic result. Great night. Hope you enjoyed it if you were there. I mean, I've had phone messages all day, WhatsApp, all the viral stuff. It's great fun. And we saw Ronaldo come to Dublin, and again that famous curse is still there.
Yeah, still never scored. He's never scored, and they can't beat us.
Yep, crazy, isn't it? Amazing. Mm-hmm. Right, we're going to leave it there. But thank you for joining us this evening, Conor. Anything else before we go?
No, just big weekend. We just have Sunday. Thankfully, actually, we've tomorrow to digest. We'll have a preview out tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow, and then we have the match on Sunday, and then it'll be underage football then for Tuesday. I think on Tuesday we have the 17s, 19s, and 21s all playing. All games will be on TV or streamed because the 17s will be on RTE, 19s are going to be on the Dutch YouTube channel, and 21s will be on RTE as well. So it'll be a great day for me because of obviously Rep Tracker and watching underage football. So it's going to be an exciting few games, and hopefully the 17s last as long as possible, and then they have a game then that sent to next Friday, and it'll create even more buzz around Irish football, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what it's all about. So we'll be here. We won't probably have we'll have obviously a lot of live shows, obviously as part of the pre-match and aftermath, of course, from Budapest. So do join us in those. Make sure you subscribed, and if you do want to support the page as well, you can of course support us at Lansdowne Raw Plus, which is where we have some extra content for you. A lot of retro stuff. We've got our state of play, our take on the game. Conor throws a lot of stuff up there. His players to watch and things like that. Team of the week. But we'll have it all covered here, of course, on Lansdowne Raw. Thank you for your support as well. It means the world to us. Fantastic in Slattery's yesterday, meeting a lot of the Raw faithful. There is a really good buzz around that place now, Conor, isn't there, on match day? Because lads are coming in there, having a good crack. We have a few pints, and obviously a few of us stayed behind yesterday and watched the game for the Ireland game then. So really good to see the buzz about Irish football coming back, and the 17s have done so well. Under 21s unlucky tonight in London, in Birmingham, losing 2-0. But again, on the back of that fantastic win, we're still in the hunt. We're off to Budapest, and we have you covered here on Lansdowne Raw. Thanks for watching, and come on, you boys in green.